Right, I've got a better connection here. God. This is why I'm so thankful that, that article, Brave Briny Battles on Good Things Come Out of Bad. I'm learning about evil all the time. I can't say too much about my personal circumstances. About emotional abuse. My partner could be watching this downstairs. Well, I've told you, haven't I? And the same applies to anyone else who's doing evil. I've got this YOLANDE KENWOOD. Oh, they're all, I can't believe it. It's like I've woken up in everything I've been through over the last 6 years and what I could still be the victim of a global Masonic network working in Kent and Sussex. But yeah, this YOLANDE KENWOOD, whether it's the real her or not, I made 2 personal messages for her, live streamed. Very polite. They're just questions about the comments that were put under. The response I got was, "You're an insane person." What the fuck? And they're all as bad as each other. But this is a disease that affects people everywhere you go in life. But they're saying this to a vulnerable homeless woman who's had attempted rape, lost their mother, had a domestic abuse several times over, and they're attacking me because I'm strong, clearly. Police brutality, establishment, council, whatever. And that's your response, is it, YOLANDE? Or whoever it is claiming to be YOLANDE KENWOOD, the brown profile picture. I'm not part of any group. She's saying your group will be reported. I'm not part of any group. This is my personal channel that's like a dear diary. I'm documenting. I've got freedom of speech. And if anyone thinks they're going to fucking take it from me, you're already an order follower on a fast track to hellfire. Whether you're just an ordinary person or a police officer or whatever, for the first time in my life, I am swearing on YouTube because I have had it up to here and beyond. A lot of you have got children and should know better. Whoever you are, you're complete strangers. I don't know who you are. I've had to report to YouTube people taking my profile picture, my photographs from Facebook and using them to comment to me, pretending to be me. And I haven't got a clue who they are. This is my personal YouTube channel. I don't know Matt Taylor personally. I don't know Andy Devine personally. The only person I met in the truthers community was John Alexander Patterson in the psychiatric unit. And it was easier for me to make a personal judgment because I met him and I saw his tears. Yes, I know that there are psychopaths out there who use tears. And trust me, I know all about that. My tears, my screaming, my crying are a reaction as PTSD to sociopaths, coercive control, narcissism. Do the research. It's all part and parcel of the same thing. I am speaking boots on the ground, okay? Boots on the ground. I'm not interested anymore in these truthers, okay? Caroline Stevens saying, Andy Devine works for the police. Andy Devine saying, oh, you're attacking her when she said he can't be trusted. Then this Yolanda Kenwood comes on saying, Andy Devine can't be trusted. I don't care. I'm only going to talk about the people who have actually personally offered me help and then withdrawn it, like Andy Devine and Tina Chafe from the Independent Advice Network, leaving me extremely vulnerable, and I've got to be careful what I say, terrified for my life, and then saying, oh, you're strong. Get a grip. This is unbelievable. I'm supposed to be the vulnerable female. I've been so honest. I have been what people have described me, members of the public. I get chatting in pubs and stuff. I've had men say to me, oh, you're brave to walk into a pub on your own. I've been doing that for well over 20, whenever I was legal to start drinking, except I only drink cups of tea in pubs. You're brave to go into, yeah. And I get people saying, well, you're extremely self-deprecating. What you see is what you get with me. And authentic people are hard to find in this society. They're very hard because there are some very good actors out there. Authentic people. And telling the truth. Did you know that speaking the truth as a woman is one of the most attractive traits? And I'll tell you something else. I've let these sacks of shit see my pain. They know who they are. They've seen me. They've thrown me to the ground. They've put me in handcuffs. Even though I've had attempted rape and bruises on me and everything. And I've done what a lot of women don't have the guts to do. And I've prayed with my head on the ground, and I've used Yahweh's name. And I've had the new age bullshit, leave it in the past, namaste, all that bullshit. Leave it in the past. My past is my present because of the trauma that's been ongoing, particularly over the past 6 years. But I also learnt in my 30s that I had trauma as a baby because it was normalized, like satanic ritual abuse. So, Yolanda Kenwood, I've never met you, but I have a handler, and you're calling me insane because I very politely made a message to you, a response, a polite response, where you were saying basically, congratulations, you're speaking up for the victims of Beachy Head suicides and Billy Joe Jenkins and all this and all that. And your husband, someone Peck, is a Freemason. Whatever, I don't care. I really don't care. But thank you from the bottom of my heart, Yolanda Kenwood. Thank you for showing me what you are. And these troll comments. And you know what? I'm not interested in the truthers community anymore. And even my horrible godmother, because she's done all that narcissistic stuff. She's come out with, well, my mother died. And, you know, she was horrendous after my mother died. But she said to me, why would a man want to be with you? It's only to abuse you. But she also said, I don't want to hear about these people on the internet. Don't want to know. Don't want to hear about it. Don't have anything to do with them. She's not wrong. But for me, as I've always said, I'm not going to have a grave. I'm going to be cremated like my mother. I'm going to have my ashes scattered where my mother is scattered. But if I had a gravestone, I would have these words. It's been interesting, because I tell you what, I just People don't have to do much to expose themselves, because you know what? It's really, really, really hard for a narcissist and a sociopath to keep up that act. For me, I found it stressful, very stressful, doing the British stiff upper lip. And, you know, my mother brought me up to be very, you know, and do the Jane Austen thing. But me telling the truth is insane. Well, I tell you what, that must be a compliment, Yolanda. Must be a compliment. Now, again, I don't know if this is the actual person that I've seen on YouTube called Yolande Kenwood. It could be an impersonator, an actor, a sock puppet account thingy, whatever you call it. I don't know. I'm a technophobe. But either way, it's interesting. And I tell you what, you know, you learn this from your grandparents and all that. My late grandmother lived through two world wars. But you learn it from them that even though I was 8 when she died, you learn that you never stop learning in life. Life is an ongoing lesson. And even if you've already been through domestic abuse and whatnot, and you've done all the research, well over a decade later, you can find yourself in the same position again and not see the wood through the trees, because it doesn't matter how intelligent you are. Anyway, there we go. I've said what I wanted to say. I can't say too much, but I look awful. I feel awful. I'm dirty, greasy, disgusting, whatever. And yeah, but I'm on a fighting form at the moment. Do you know when one of the things I loved, I'm 40 now. Thanks for nothing. Nothing for my 40th, not even nothing for my 40th. You're trying to beg the person who's supposed to love you to sing happy birthday to you. And, you know, you wanted a big fuss and a party and all that stuff. And I wanted what my eldest sister had. I wanted balloons and party and bouncy castle. She had that for both her 30th and 40th. But I'm not superficial like her. And she wouldn't listen to people when people said you'll lose her as a sister. But she's a landlady. They've got houses, cars, nice holidays, all of that. And I tell you what, I will be going through this shit. I will be dragged in handcuffs and through the mud and be left to sleep rough. And I will, because I know where I'm going after this life. I do. I don't need a book to tell me where I'm going. I don't need people. I fucking don't need people. The worst people who carry those Bibles, yeah, they use it to their own ends. And I know, because I've known from day one of my life, but I've been in it for the right reasons. If his name is Yahweh or not, I don't know. Jehovah, whatever. Don't listen to the words of man. I've always trusted my intuition. But yeah, so there we go. Whoa, it's, you know, the pain that I've been in is indescribable. Where I am right now, and I can't say anything. I've got to keep it completely stum. But my lady witness, I have her to thank. That's all I can say. Juliet, if you can see this, that's all I can say, because I have to be careful what I say. But yes, I could still have a global Masonic network out to get me, because I'm a narc magnet. I just remember on Guide Camp, and that's a Freemasonic witchcraft, the Owl of Molech. If you've been a brownie guide in the UK, you'll know that you've, like me, done a Masonic. You've been blindfolded. you've done the ritual, you've done the hand gestures, you've done it all. You've done the motto, you've given your allegiance to Ishtar, Esther, which is not the queen. Yeah, it's all bullshit. But I still enjoyed myself, even though I was bullied on Christian camp and guide camp, and I didn't allow the narcissists in the dorm, the people that ran it and all that, I didn't allow them to get to me. Of course they did, but yeah, there's programming wherever you go. But I do remember a girl on guide camp saying, I'm worried that people will take advantage of Bryony. Thank you, Gemma Jones. That stuck with me. And they were all talking about me in the tent, and I was like eavesdropping, and they said, oh, I think she's really Bryony's really sensitive and all that. And I tore the tent open, and I went, oh, thank you. Oh, I made them jump. But I like doing that. I used to tell them ghost story. I told them I did some weird things. I also told them about the little people, and they called me mad. But what a lot of people should understand is the little people are real, because even Fern Britton said on the BBC, on a programme in Cornwall, where people have alleged to see them, she said to a practicing witch in Cornwall that she too had seen fairies. Anyway, if you haven't seen my YouTube videos, you need to learn about demonic curses and witchcraft, because it's only when my mum blessed that house with holy water that we stopped having paranormal activity. And I tell you what, the more people, it's the ones that call you crazy, it's because they're frightened. So, Darren, if you're watching, or you're downstairs, whatever, because you watched that live stream of me being attacked, evidence of licensees attacking me in the early hours. And where were you? You got a flat to go to, and here we are in a stranger's flat, and you won't let me have the key. Anyway, so yeah, I couldn't give a shit anymore. I tell you what, this is fucking interesting. And at the end of it, all those thugs, those so-called men covered in tattoos, thinking they're all of that, and nothing in here. And I squared them in the eye. And I looked him in the eye and I spoke to him. And you could see the fear. Because whatever they do to me on this earth, it's in here and here. So there we are. Thank you, Yolanda Kenwood. So whether I've got so I'm insane because I've left a very polite message for you. If this is your idea of sanity, then I take it as a compliment that you've called me insane. So I've got a handler. So I'm insane because I've made a very polite reply to your comments. And I've got a handler at Eastbourne Police Desk. This doesn't sound like a stable human being who's actually saying you're doing good for all those people who jumped off Beachy Head in the Beachy Head scandal and all of this. I don't care what mental health issues you have. I was in the psychiatric unit because of trauma and bereavement, losing my mother. I'm not delusional, okay? That's why I have to be very careful talking about John Patterson, because it's like the sociopath who was happily married to his wife for many, many, many years, and she was happily in love, and she had no idea that he was murdering prostitutes because he had a hatred of prostitutes. Or Dr. Harold Shipman. Doesn't he look like a nice doctor with that beard, you know, cuddly, nice looking doctor, and he was murdering elderly patients. And, you know, welcome to life. But there we go. Thanks very much. So what you see is what you get with me. If you want to believe, this is my channel. It's my dear diary. It's my personal documentation. It's my freedom of speech. It's about my own experiences of corruption and people I've met along the way. And if I want to mention someone, because it's YouTube, people make videos. I've had people take my photographs, my profile pictures from Facebook. They've done these things. My phone number is not on YouTube, by the way, because I'm not crazy. Only a select. Privately, oh yeah, John Wedger was another one. He had my number. I got his number, I don't know from where, and I texted him about 3 years ago. Andy Devine, I got his number and I texted him. I said, you know, I've met John Alexander Patterson in the psychiatric unit. I also I somehow got Matt Taylor's number. Then there was Dan from Police Abusing Powers and Tina Chave from the Independent Advice Network. And that was through emails or me calling into Police Abusing Powers. And also a moderator whose number I responded to. So they're the only people who had my number. I did not put my number out there. There was no one else. But I've learnt that all these people are intertwined into one great, big, massive, infantile playground, and they are all as bad as each other. If you can get a woman, right, from the Truth is a Movement, Caroline Stevens I'm talking about, who, you know, I don't know her personally. I don't know any of them personally, not even John Patterson, and I met him. I don't know them. You know, these are observations. And she prayed for me, talked me out of suicide, then threatened me because I'd left my live stream running by accident because of the damn connection. It was left running for 7 hours. I was in distress because a police, PC Franklin Lester, burst in, and he is the corrupt police officer who arrested me 3 hours after I recorded a licensee threatening to beat me up. And they're all as demented as each other. But as I said, my partner has, in my private life, there are things, problems, issues with my partner. But I can't talk about it. So thank you, Caroline Stevens, because you're no different to all these other corrupt people that have exploited me. And then you had the nerve to contact the food bank. Steve Churchill knew that some woman from Wiltshire. So you've gone and threatened me and contacted, and you said that PC Scott Franklin Lester's real name was, what was it? Dan something. Dan Russell. Yeah. I was so distressed. It just burst in doing a welfare check. I was half naked, and he and his two dirty bastards, they're coming in. I'm half naked, and he said, "Right, that Bryony, what are you putting on the internet?" And I was like, "What?" So Caroline Stevens only has to click her finger, and she's got them wrapped around her finger. But I get unknown numbers ringing me, and I'm told, wait till I get a threat to my life. So that's a warning to everyone out there. I'll tell you what, whether you suffer with mental health or not, you wouldn't last 2 minutes in my shoes. Honest to goodness. Jeanette Archer has been mimicking my exact words that I've been using for a very long time, including, I'm looking forward to death. But even if you didn't have mental health issues, I mean, God, I lost my mother. She wasn't just my mother, she was my soulmate. We were like that. You know, we were soulmates. Her best friend said that. 3 generations of friendship. My mother would be 84. Her best friend, they were friends. Their daughters are friends, and their mothers were best friends. But my mother's best friend said, and I don't know if she's alive because I'm been terrified for so long. A thing about her having cancer. My godmother's behaviour was really peculiar on the phone. Anyway, I can't say any more than that because of certain circumstances. So, yeah, carry on. Pray, do tell me in the comments below what group I'm a part of, because I'm making a personal channel for me, for my benefit. Anyone who wants to come on and comment is free to do so, because this is YouTube, it's worldwide. But I've had my pictures stolen from Facebook. I've reported it to YouTube. They asked me more questions. I'm too shattered to respond because I'm filthy. I haven't washed and showered for days. I am a boots on the ground TI, targeted individual. So there we go. Whatever you want to call it. Call a spade, but there we go. Anyway, I've got nothing more to say. So that's my warning to people. Do not get involved. Just, if I were you, just take a step back. Just speak the facts. Don't go off into, it's so easy to get, and it's what's happened to me, to get a little bit dragged in. Curiosity killed the cat, but you know, you get, you know, that there's just a, they love this, they're so sick in the head, they create the master of mischief. These people can use the name of Yahweh and they'll still be doing the devil's work, and they won't even know it because they're sick in the head. They'll be creating lies, drama. They did this, they did that. Look at me, I'm the victim. And all I'm doing is making observations and getting attacked for this, and then accusations. Get a life, I don't care. Whatever. Anyway, there we go. I would love to know what group I'm a part of, though, because apparently Yolande Kenwood is going to take action against my phantom group. So, yeah, whatever. Okay. I'm not making these live streams to, you know, I'm curious, because I've still kind of like Wurzel Gummidge. I need to unscrew my head off and put on my, you know, I've still got my 20th century head on, or my Victorian head, or whatever, because I'm still living in a time where people were quote unquote normal, whatever that means. And I've been treating it that way, and I still am, and it's like banging your head against a brick wall. So, yeah. But, you know, the more evil that they do against me and any other, well, I consider myself to be an empath. I've looked to myself in the mirror and really, really self-deprecating. Am I a narcissist? That's how I know I'm not one. Well, every human being is capable of being narcissistic. That's part of being human. But not everyone is diagnosed with NPD. And there's the difference. because they don't think that they are so sick in the head, they will never think that they've ever done anything wrong. Whereas I'm like going crazy thinking, is it me? Is it me? You know, anyway, there we go. I've said what I wanted to say, and there we are. No, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Over and out. Thanks for watching. You know, even foes. Oh yeah, one more thing. Yeah, can I just say I'm out of the world of adamant. I wanted to say something to Jeanette Archer about what I learned about adamant, if I ever had any kind of contact with this lady. But just want to quote a lyric that he took from someone. Who was it? Who was it who originally said, keep your friends real close, keep your enemies closer? There's truth in these things. Okay, whatever. Anyway, there we are. I don't even know who my enemies are. So